Also wenn wir über die Steinzeit hinaus sind, dann bin ich auch, das macht einen schon irgendwie froh.
Well, being beyond the Stone Age, this actually does make me happy.
Lange Veranstaltung, deswegen kommen wir jetzt zum Ende.
So this event has been quite long already. So we're coming to an end. I will say that we will get to those questions that we haven't gotten to.
Radiosendungen, die wir gemeinsam machen, die auch bald wieder losgehen.
We can also take them up in the radio shows that we will start again soon.
Universell mit Sicherheit jeder mal stellt, ob er jetzt schon aktiv tatsächlich an diesen Veränderungen mitarbeitet und dafür mitkämpft.
But everybody who is active or thinking about getting active has, I think, this kind of question, which will be the last. This is from one of our members in Baden-Württemberg, and she says, I'm speaking to people every day about the necessary changes in the world, but they always think of themselves too small, too insignificant. But how can such a small person change the course of human history, and what kind of education do you need for doing this?
I think that we have many examples where in historic moments of crisis, it was never the masses who changed history, but it was always a small group of human beings who had concepts, ideas, who defined the future and intervened in a way that history would progress. That was the case in the Italian Renaissance, it was the case for the US-American Revolution, and it was the case in actually many situations where real progress was possible, and it was always the result of creative individuals, single individuals. I think that at the moment we, for example, have an Italian taxi driver who is member of this organization and basically is the leader of a whole organization of an opposition against the technocrats around Monti. We have a situation in France where also a small group of people is trying to realize the impossible, which is that Jacques Cheminade could become president of France. And all these signs show that we have to take the decision that we want it. It is a question of the moral will. Obviously, we can hide behind being a small person, but that is only a rationalization that we cannot change anything. This organization, BÜSO, the Schiller Institute, as an international organization, and people who are part of the LaRouche organization, we are the hope that civilization has today. Because since 40 or 50 years, we have worked on these concepts, worked on alternative concepts for basically every part of the planet, and that has brought us into a situation where we are kind of a shadow government which is ready to break up this oligarchical system. I have a very optimistic idea of being able to win, that within a very short time frame, history can be brought into a very different direction. Because what we are saying is true to the laws of the universe, and human creativity is what drives the development of the universe forward. Nicholas of Coos once said that the Creator God created the universe, but since mankind emerged, we are basically in the image of God, carrying on the creation of the universe. Kepler said that very precisely, the more you realize how fantastically the universe is organized, the more you understand about the universe, the more you will see that there is a loving creator. And that is something where the whole idea of the Enlightenment, the scholastic and all these tendencies have basically stopped people to take part in this creative process through oneself. But the tradition of Plato, Augustinus, Nicholas of Cus, all of these searched for the identity of mankind in this creative process of the Creator within the human individual. And that is something that we have to think about, because then we as individuals are not, as Heidegger said, thrown. This disgusting ideology of being thrown into something, which then also led for his adoration of the Nazis, that we go against this. We are not thrown into something, individuals who just by chance popped up somewhere, but we are endowed with a creative potential, every single being. And this godly creativity has to be studied, developed, and that can be done through various means. By, for example, understanding classical poems, which are very, very valuable. Schiller said about classical poems that lyrical poems are the only possibility for man who is split up in different aspects, bring that man back to unity. We can develop our voices, we can do all types of things, and suddenly we realize that we can change our whole plan of life. I can stop wasting my time and suddenly develop knowledge that you can do with ourselves, because we are doing that already in this organization. But you can take the decision in your life that the inner development has to progress. And I have to do it, because then only I can, through my activities, help for the progress of mankind. And if you do that, then you will learn that thinking aesthetically, thinking in the sublime, suddenly your physical being is not anymore endangered, but that ideas and ideals, like Schiller said, our small destiny is being then connected and woven into the destiny of all mankind. And that is how we grow.
Helga, vielen, vielen Dank. Ich denke, dass
Thank you very, very much, Helga. With that, I think we will end our evening. And it gives us an idea of what has been really very little discussed in Germany. And we can be happy that we have Helga Zepp-LaRouche in this very difficult international situation. I hope you're all ready now to become active in this decisive moment of history for mankind. And I would also like to thank you for your questions, and I hope we can greet you again very soon.